Hello YouTube, this is Empire 1079 coming at you as another World of Warships Legends. And the votes are in, and you have chosen between the Monarch and the Odin. Monarch has won. And I did a little digging into this before this video. This is a variant of the King George V class. This is the proposal that it was armed with 15-inch guns instead of the 14-inch guns that we see it with. And if I just zoom in there, you can see it is pretty much the same layout. Same hull form by the looks of it, probably a little modified for the bigger guns. But bridge, the same. Any aircraft guns, maybe more increased since this is that of a tier 7 ship. Like the tier 6s that they are. So definitely a better sweep of any aircraft guns, which is always good. Looks like this is what if a lot of more of the British ships got sent over to America to get re-armored up. But even by the time that they would have, ships like that really wouldn't have to worry too much about the Luftwaffe, potentially. But we'll go from there. Captain as usual. Upgrades, not picked any thus far. Take the loadout. The speed's about the same for the British, except for Vanguard is about the fastest. Not 100% sure about if the armor is equivalent, probably for the rule of thumb, it's probably a little bit better since it is armed for 15-inch guns instead of the standard 14-inch guns. And you can read right there about all of it that you can read about it. It stops moving. But let's take her in the battle and see how she does. In this, I want to say this now, just because I'm playing with Monarch now does not mean you will not get a video of Odin in the future. I just like having a certain amount of global experience before I buy one of these ships. So don't worry, if you voted for her, she will be into the future. I just don't know when into the future. And at the time of this recording, I will probably have put a timestamp of when this video will come out in the polls. Since I have a lot of other videos already ahead of her, so this will probably be in, again, it is June at the time of the recording, this will probably come out in August.
General quarters.
But like always, we'll see how good her high explosive rounds are, and then of course we will always switch back to the armor piercing, because at this tier you need armor piercing a lot more, I think, unless you're going up against a destroyer, maybe even a really light skinned cruiser, but not really.
Enemy force detected.
And don't worry, since I don't know how the armor compares, I will, after this battle, look up, see the difference between the armor of Monarch here versus her class that did come
Enemy
out.
cruiser.
Hopefully, in the standard, we go against an aircraft carrier so we can see how powerful these anti-aircraft guns are. Because, like I said, more heavily armed and anti-air than the other King George V class, except maybe for Duke of York. She has at least a few more at least 2 quad Bofors. Let's see how that would gear. Six. Secondary gun range for a battleship. Still the best static one that has the best natural one is Massachusetts still. But she will be good once I probably give her that other one for dispersion and gives secondary gun range a bit better. Should be almost 6 kilometers, I bet.
You destroyed an enemy cruiser.
I'm sorry for the noise in the background. If you heard that before I mute it, then look, a King George. This actually works out to be in my favor, which now that I see this might be potentially for a new versus video. Let's see, the actual King George V that came out, or this variant that they probably wanted to have the 15-inch guns instead of the 14-inch guns. 3 shots. That definitely took a nice little chunk out of her health. So yeah, that might be into the future. A battle between me, anybody driven, going against, well, which version of the King George is better, the 14-inch gun caliber or the 15-inch gun caliber? Definitely have to do the dispersion on this since, well, that was pretty much lined up perfectly. Couldn't go even more perfect. I probably shouldn't do this, but we gotta test the armor. Ooh. That was a good hit. Probably good to pop one of these. Ooh. Another good hit. But granted, this is an AI one, and you're usually... And sometimes they're not, at least in the testing ones, they're not fully upgraded. This one looks potentially upgraded. Aww. That was supposed to be ours. But who knows, we'll get ready to go against a King George in standard battle. Thus far, not bad. Handles great, I believe. Handles very good. Also in this video, I'd like to ask you guys to think, would you like ever to kind of, me and Driven, just have a standard video, kind of almost like, yeah, we have this maybe playing in the background or something. We're just playing, but we're talking about, like, say, Driven picks a country in this game that he has a lot of ships in, and just to make it fair, since all of you know what I have, and even though I already told Driven what I got, if he picks a country, and we go almost kind of do like our own version of the board game Battleship. He takes his most powerful fleet against mine that he picks for me. We play this, we talk, and we discuss in battle. We can either do that as a live stream or as a video.
Battle starts.
Maybe I'd do a good conversational piece as a live stream, potentially, so that might come out. Don't know if it'll come out by the time this gets released, but we shall see. But, and you can chime in to say if you would like to see if you have a good fleet that can go against me or Driven's. If you would like. It would be definitely interesting. And this, now that I think of it, it's not going to be like my fleet battle thing where Driven brought it up and like it's like, oh, you get a fleet of, I think if I put it like the 52 and I pick ships and surround it like a regular task force or something like that. This is just we pick a fleet, we pick a country. Well, he picks his country, he picks it for me because I already know which one I would pick if I just want to overwhelmingly destroy him. So we do that. Take as many ships as we got in that fleet, and we just talk out. It's like, ooh, okay, I would do this to combat you, and this and this and this, stuff like that.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target. Fighter airborne.
Yeah. Again, hate to reiterate, and sorry that there's not much history in this ship. This is pretty much all I know about the ship. She was a variant, as you saw. Couldn't really find much. And I already just remembered I forgot what I was going to do. Once we got back, I do apologize. Oh, we are going against an aircraft carrier. At least we're going against one thing that I got wanted, but I do apologize. I forgot to show the armor difference between that. I'll do you one better. I'll put a comparison. I will do take pictures, put it on a post with this. That'll come out with this video. A comparison between Monarch's armor and the King George's armor. And since the premium tiers are usually a little bit more buffed, I'll make it fair. I'll do Duke of York's armor against Monarchs here. Because usually the premium ones are always either a little bit more boosted or more powerful than their other constituents of the same class.
Enemy destroyer detected.
Come on.
Concentrate fire on the designated enemy cruiser sighted. Attention, reporting the target position. I need intelligence data. Concentrate fire on the designated target.
We need intelligence. Spotter plane.
Fighter airborne. All stations, protect that target.
Hopefully that's the intelligence that we need, and I'll pop a heal while I'm going behind this island while my guns reload, so we can sink the Iowa.
All stations. Reporting the position of a strategic target. The ship is on fire! Problem solved, sir.
Man, we missed the kill against King George. Maybe we'll sink the Iowa. Or just get one shot off her after 6 barrels. Come on, let's get a good shot. Let's go.
Enemy destroyer detected.
Okay, that'll definitely get him. As long as fire doesn't get him first. In this, I forgot to mention I put the Battle of Jutland flag on the ship. I've run out of cool British flags because they're all tied to individual ships themselves, so I picked a ship flag that at least British. And why not? Because I do know a King George the Sixth, I believe, was actually at the Battle of Jutland. I believe it was him. I shouldn't say King, it was Prince George. I think it was I'm gonna have to look that. Let me know, because I'm now thinking it's either Edward the Eighth or George the Fifth.
The ship is on fire!
Some prince was in the Navy, I just can't remember. Nope, it wasn't either of them. Edward the Eighth was in the Army. I remember from a Fat Electrician's video now that he was a drinking buddy of Terrible Terry, a general from the First World War. It was Prince Philip, that was it, I believe. It's Queen Elizabeth II future husband that was in the Navy. If I am completely wrong, let me know. It has been a while since I've looked up anything about Jutland pertaining with people. At least with famous people. I know Eric Rader was there. I'm definitely gonna have to put dispersion out on this ship, because that is just terrible. That's within frickin' point blank range to shoot that ship. This is starting to hurt too.
Problem solved, sir.
Okay, I'm not potentially going to survive this, so I guess I should start the outro now. I want to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell to notify any time that I post a video or go live. And please leave your comments down below and tell me, what do you think of the Monarch if you have her? Do you like her? Do you think she's better than the King George V with the 14-inch guns? Or do you like the 14-inch guns and it's just a novel item with the 15-inch guns? Or do you think maybe in a what-if scenario, the British got around the Washington Naval Treaty that limited, because I believe potentially when this would have been designed and probably would have been able to go into effect was when the Japanese left the Washington Naval Treaty. Yes, because now I think I remember there were plans for this, a 15-inch gun variant, but these ships were already laid down, the armor was already made, the guns were already made, and so they just stuck with the 14-inch guns, which they didn't really want, even though they had this. They just couldn't do what we did with the North Carolina class, where it's like, okay, let's get rid of the 14-inch guns, let's plop in 16-inch guns. That would probably be done a lot of retooling and making the barbettes bigger, so maybe that's why. But let me know. what you think of her. My thoughts, like her, stares good and all that. Definitely getting the thing for the dispersion because, well, that's just crappy. I'm at point blank range, shooting down and firing out of Massachusetts. Those shots should be hitting exactly where I'm wanting. But okay, and also at the time of this recording, we're at 391 subscribers. Come on, we're 9 away from 400. Let's go. I know we can do it. Or if we're already at that point, I can't thank you all enough for getting me to 400 subscribers. I do appreciate it, every last one of you.
Battle
But
ends in 5 minutes.
until all that, hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I shall catch you all in the next one. See ya.